Is it an English Premier League clash or a game at the World Cup Finals? It's the USA and England on Saturday in Rustenburg, South Africa. Welcome to another edition of Concacaf TV's World Cup Preview Show. I'm your host, Scott Gleba. When the USA and England face off at the Royal Bafokeng Stadium, many will be forgiven for thinking that they are watching a Premier League battle, as 13 players on the USA squad have appeared on the roster of a Premier League club at some point in their careers, while the entire English roster is domestic-based. The Stars and Stripes are making their 9th all-time appearance in a World Cup Finals, second most only to Mexico in Concacaf. The 1994 World Cup host is looking to rebound from a disappointing campaign in 2006 and emulate its outstanding performance in 2002 when it reached the quarterfinals by defeating the Mexicans in the round of 16. England and the USA are in Group C, along with Algeria and Slovenia. While many pundits do not consider this to be the most difficult group, it does contain 2 European countries, and the Americans have only beaten European opposition in the finals twice in 16 tries. One of those wins came in that historic 1950 win against, you-know-who, England. According to FIFA records, in addition to that 1950 game, the USA has only beaten England twice in 9 all-time encounters. The English have won the last 3 meetings, scoring 2 goals in each of those games. The Americans scored only once in those 270 minutes. They last met in 2008, a 2-0 win for England in London. USA coach Bob Bradley has put his squad through a challenging and well-planned training camp. The 4-time Gold Cup champion played 3 friendlies leading up to the finals, losing to the Czech Republic on May 25th, and then bouncing back with wins over Turkey and Australia, showing improved performances in each game. Bradley shared his thoughts about the historical significance of playing England in the World Cup for the first time since 1950 and what it means to football in the USA today.
Well, we try to make sure that the team does have a little sense of history. The players that have come before them and the teams, and I think that the win in 1950 is still a moment that we're all proud of. And so ironic that we get the opportunity to open this World Cup with England, and I think it's special. The history, 60 years, the opportunity to open the World Cup against England brings such attention to our sport, to the history, to our game. So I think it's a great start. We certainly understand that the first round is about 3 games, but nonetheless, right. It's pretty exciting with England.
Despite lingering injury concerns to players such as central defender Ogochi Onyewu, the U.S. will look to experienced veterans such as goalkeeper Tim Howard, Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey, and captain Carlos Bocanegra for leadership as well as production. A new fleet of stars is emerging, such as Borussia Mönchengladbach midfield general Michael Bradley and forward Josie Altidore, who played with Hull City this past season. They aim to be counted among the best young players in the world. 24-year-old defender Jonathan Spector, who plays for West Ham, spoke about that 1950 win over England and gauges recent U.S. successes.
Well, it was a very different game then than it is now, but we'd certainly like to repeat that success. But I think we've got the attributes to be able to do that. I think we showed that in the Confederations Cup in our the defeat to Egypt and then to Spain. Beating both those teams was a huge success for us, and we want to continue on that road.
Midfielder Maurice Edu is with Rangers in Scotland. He delved into how the USA will approach the England game.
You know, England's a strong opponent. You know, we know they all have top players that play at top clubs, and it'll be a good challenge for us. We're just going to go out there and play our game. You know, we'll watch some video on them, I'm sure, leading up to the game. But most importantly, I think it's most important that we just go out there and try to play our game and impose ourselves on the game, and you know, in some aspect, try to make them worry about us more than we're worried about them.
Injuries and a frustrating experience 4 years ago in Germany have somewhat subdued expectations of the USA in South Africa, and perhaps that is a good thing. This way, they can get down to the business of playing for the day and for each other. Please join us throughout June and July for comprehensive coverage of the Concacaf teams at the World Cup. Thanks for watching Concacaf TV, your source for Concacaf news.